What's cracking YouTube, Neck Punch here, and it's time for our Fakémon of the day in our 50 days of Fakémon. Today we've got a bit of a Fakémon family for you, based on a Pokemon that I came up with when I was a little kid. The Pokemon is based on leopards, which was my favourite animal when I was a kid. The original idea for the Pokemon was basically just a leopard that evolved into a two-headed leopard with boxing gloves, which then evolved into a three-headed leopard, which pretty much had the body of a person, except for with paws. And it was going to be a normal type that became a fighting type and then another fighting type. When I started actually building the Coteinn decks and trying to do sprites of these Pokemon, I found this idea on my list and I thought, I'm a little bit over it. I don't want to just have a regular leopard. By this point we already had Liepard and I thought, I got to do something different, but I also want to include some version of this Pokemon purely for the nostalgia. So I ended up coming up with this line. To start with, we have Pokémon, and rather than start with a full-grown leopard, I thought let's do the classic Pokemon thing and start with a little kitten Pokemon that ultimately is going to become kind of a full-grown big cat-esque thing. Pokémon evolves into Pardunch and becomes a fighting type if it reaches a certain level and its attack is higher than its special attack. Then finally Pardunch evolves into Smash. Now the original names I think even for the Pokemon were just Pardus, which means leopard, Smash was the second form, and then Smasher was the third, which yeah, you can imagine. I was like, I wasn't super impressed with 10-year-old me. So I was like, we'll keep Smash, but I'll rename the other two. And so here we had the reimagined version of this idea that I had as a kid. I decided to keep them as bipedal leopards to really try to differentiate between them and Liepard, and then the evolution of Liepard, which I created. And I decided not to go with the multiple heads thing. I just didn't really want to do that anymore. However, in the process, the name of another potential final evolution just sort of came into my mind. I remember just thinking, what if instead of Smash, it was Psych? What about if it was a branched evolution, and one way it could be a fighting type, and the other way it's a psychic type? And it's because of that that I decided on the evolutionary method of how Pokémon evolves into Pardunch, with attack being higher than special attack. And so, if its special attack is higher than its attack when it reaches a certain level, instead it will evolve into Pardric, the psychic type. And then Pardric evolves into Psych. Now for their abilities, I had a couple of interesting ideas. So Pokémon just gets Anticipation, which is kind of a dud ability, but it's just a little baby Pokemon. It's got a long way to go. For Pardunch and Smash, my idea for an ability is called Compensation. It means that they get an attack increase if they are weak to one of their opponent's types. For Pardric and Psych, the psychic types, their ability is called Outsmart. This ability would give them an evasion boost for every time the opponent uses the same move in a row. Kind of like they're learning what that move does and how to avoid it. So in the end, the original idea that I had probably 20 years ago has really evolved into something quite different, but that I think is really cool. These Pokemon themselves have gone through quite the redesign as well. The first time that I tried to draw them, they actually looked like this. This was back when I was just splicing together different sprites to try to bring my own ideas to life. But I really wasn't happy with these designs, and I think you can see why. So a few years ago I completely redrew them, redesigned them, and now they look like this. So here you have the final, actually, evolutionary family of our 50 days of Fakémon. We have Pokémon and its two evolutions, Pardunch and Pardric, and their evolutions, Smash and Psych. Love to know what you think in the comments section. I will see you guys tomorrow with the final Fakémon in our epic 50 days. Until next time, my name is Neck Punch. Have a good one.